offer me some insight into why Stalin would do such a thing? You mean plot your death, sir? That is correct. I can only guess. Please indulge me. You are an old-line anti-Bolshevik, sir. A dedicated foe of communism since the time of the revolution. If Stalin believes in nothing else, it is annihilating his enemies when the time is ripe. Churchill didn't miss the hesitation. And? The Germans foolishly sneer at him. I do not know what the Russians think, but anyone with eyes can see that the Americans will be a great power after the war. Perhaps, sir, just as he was easily able to persuade them to reside in the Soviet embassy where the NKVD will be recording all their private conversations and reading their secret documents, Stalin feels that the Americans would be more easily persuaded in all things without you standing beside them. Now Churchill was rumbling with outrage, and he would accept this monstrous risk. Not much of a risk, sir. All the NKVD did was stand back and let the SS assassination team they had been observing all along take position in the house I obtained for them, but never intended to be used. I am told the Soviets delayed you at the vehicle gate demanding proper identification for a period of some time before I arrived, as if they had no idea who you were. Churchill nodded. They knew that a man such as yourself would never carry an identification card in his pocket. So, you have an overzealous Russian private soldier delaying the Prime Minister of Great Britain over the proper identification required to enter a gate, just stupidly following his orders, to the letter. Anyone who knows soldiers would laugh, and I'm sure you laughed, sir, as you waited for someone in authority to come and straighten it out. His face fixed into that famous bulldog glower, Churchill nodded again. So all the Soviets have to do is make you a stationary target, sir, long enough for the Germans to take a clear shot. Stalin would not care in the least if they mowed down a score of Russian soldiers in the attempt. If the Germans succeed, all the Russians at the gate and everyone who received the order to delay you would be shot for criminal incompetence. The Germans who killed you would of course all die. Molotov would attend your funeral with an exquisite wreath of flowers, and most likely weep with emotion. They would perhaps name a street in Moscow in your honor. But if the Germans fail, heroic Russian soldiers gain the credit for saving the British Prime Minister. It was embarrassingly close, so everyone agrees to keep it secret from the world. And all the Russians along the line of the order will be shot just the same, and silenced forever. Stalin takes his chance, and it costs him nothing. You are still his ally today from necessity, and you will never love him in any case. This is how the man does his work, sir. He does not have to be this subtle in Russia. Churchill concentrated on his cigar again. And his work in Russia is as evil as I imagine. There are more in camps than live now in your nation, sir, unless they have been driven out to die in front of the German guns, not including countless numbers shot out of hand in dark cellars all over the Soviet Union. Churchill nodded, as if that was the answer he had been expecting. One final question. Make no mistake, young man, I am deeply grateful to you for saving my life. But I am curious why you went to such extraordinary lengths to do so. Alexei knew this was a man of vast experience. He would not accept being told that it was someone risking his life because it was the right thing to do. His instinct told him to tell the truth. Sir, when I was in Berlin, I informed Stalin when and how the Germans would invade the Soviet Union. I am sure there were other warnings. I also informed him, Churchill interjected. Yes, sir. He ignored them all. Eventually, every Russian who gave him this intelligence will have to die. Stalin will never let it be known that he sat back and allowed Hitler to invade and nearly conquer the Soviet Union. He cannot. Churchill went back to dreaming over his cigar, very much like Uncle Hans used to. Alexei thought it was a fine way to make everyone wait while you thought things over.